Welcome to the United States of America podcast, the Exit Stage Left edition with Michelle Ford, and I'm Niti Bali. And happy Monday, everybody! And we made it. It seems I I feel like it just came so fast, Michelle.
This week flew by. It's like it's Monday already.
I was like, wait a minute, are you sure it's not Friday? Because I'm pretty sure it's Friday.
I know. I'm still in denial that my daughter turned 31. I'm like, what the heck?
Woo!
What the heck? I still think I'm 31. So I'm like,
I thought I was
slow down.
21. What are you talking about?
All right,
Yeah.
there you go. Even better. 21. Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know what's going on. I just know that the week is I mean, oh, okay. And for everybody out there, I was super excited because I got
I
my
am
copy.
so unbelievably jealous that you got yours.
I got my copy of They Be Pirates Matey. So
No,
for
but
any
you have to say it the right way. It's "Arr,
Arr,
they be
they be
pirates,
pirates,
matey."
matey.
Arr.
I think that this is like I have been having such a good time looking through it. I'm learning a lot and it's shorter than I thought. It's got a, but it's so deep,
Mhm.
very well written. Also, you got to read each page like 15 times.
Yeah. It reminds me of the Book of the Hundreds. That's like that, and so is the Two Babylons. Both of those books are like that, where you gotta read it again until it's like, "Oh, I got it. I got it."
Yeah, it's like that. It's kind of nutso. So,
Yeah, and
um,
not everyone knows why we gotta read that book.
oh, this
We gotta
okay.
read.
Here's something for everybody. This is something, Michelle.
Mhm.
I know that you and I are firmly sovereign under God, and we don't believe that we really need any other sovereignty. But we also are aware that we are under Roman civil law.
Mhm.
And globally, we as a people are enslaved under this global civil law.
Mhm.
And in studying law, ancient law, which is what this book is about,
Mhm.
um, in studying ancient law, then what we know is that as it is bound, it must be unbound.
That's
And
right.
and so we when we say things, y'all, YouTube friends out there, when we say things like um you know, we are we were given our sovereignty by William Belcher here on America. I don't think you or I believe that we require that sovereignty to be important, to matter, to know that. I mean, we both know that we were born worthy beyond belief, but because we have sovereignty under God. But that sovereignty that was given to us by William Belcher was under in under this ancient Roman law. And that matters because um, because it will give us the ability to disentangle from this web that we've been woven into that we're not interested in being a part of in this red hot moment when you look around and you know something is wrong. You look around and you know you don't agree. You look around and you know that we are operating, the society is currently operating in lies and immorality. And we are not interested in doing that. What do you think, Michelle?
Yeah, I think you're definitely on the right track. And I think that I can totally agree. The world is corrupt. And every one of its franchises, okay, is corrupt. And you're right that we didn't get our sovereignty from William Belcher. We didn't get our sovereignty from James Belcher or from Anna von Reitz, right? We got our sovereignty because we were born, um, we were born of the Most High God. And so the problem that we all encountered, however, was that we were, unbeknownst to our mom and dad, right, our mothers and fathers, we were by paper um, put into a caste system without full disclosure and without the consent of our mother and father, right? So this is what needs to be undone. And then once that gets undone, then you have a choice. You have a choice between going on and living a free life, or you have a choice to participate in the restoration of this nation, the founding of our nation. So, because only free people could participate in saying, okay, I voluntarily now will do this in service of making sure that we have a lawful government again.
Well, more importantly, that we can stop slavery, because if we allow it to continue for anyone,
Mhm.
we endanger ourselves of being enslaved again. You
Yeah,
cannot allow slavery. It's not okay. It's not enough to say that, okay, I'm free and now I'm out. I'm out. Peace. Like
right.
I'm just going to go be off grid now or in the matrix, but on my own level because I have graduated to this higher, level. It's important. At least I know for me and you, Michelle, like I can't speak for everybody, and everyone has different priorities, of course. But I personally know for me, I can't live with myself knowing the truth and doing literally nothing about remediating that for everybody. I believe that it is my moral responsibility.
Well,
And,
yeah, it's
you
like
know,
if you know better, you do better, and so part of taking the knowledge and doing something better is making sure that you don't perpetuate any of the falsities or the fraud, and you try to fix this mess. It's like inheriting a messed up, old, fallen down, broken house where you got to fix the foundation and you got to add new paint, you got to fix the windows, and you got to put on a new roof, and it might need new plumbing. You know what I mean? And
I
so
know.
when
And you break that wall that is darkening this room, and then you find all the asbestos, and you're like, oh, ah, you know. So we're in the middle of this restoration. It is a hot mess. We're uncovering more and more mm, issues. It's pretty complicated,
Mhm.
but you know, it's like when you have a thread and all of a sudden you realize it's in 500 knots and you're just like, just cut the thread off. But we're like, we can't cut this thread. We have to untangle the thread because we need that thread because we don't have any more of that thread. And so we have to completely untangle it to be able to fix it. And, all of us are currently in this situation, this mindset where why would we do that when we could just buy a new pair of pants? It's
Yeah,
like,
no one's doing shoe repair anymore. I hear what you're saying. Nobody patches up their old jeans anymore, right?
right. Remember, we used to do the cute patches, girl. We had the cute
Right.
patches.
Yeah,
Well,
millennials are like, "What the heck is a patch? What are you talking about?"
oh yeah. You guys, we used to get these fabric
Mm,
handmade sewn stitched things that were very cool.
yeah.
And sometimes it was that we took a piece of other clothing that we had we decided, okay, this is just going to make patches now. And then you would take it and you would sew the ends, mend it, and and then you would use it and patch up holes or tears and whatever. And nowadays everybody's like, why would you do that? But what's interesting is they don't think there's a problem with with the guy that's putting the holes in the pants, the fake holes,
Uh-huh.
because that's designer now.
Right.
I mean, they'll do that, but they don't want to patch it up, which
Right.
we always patch things up. We didn't make the holes.
Right.
I was wondering, Michelle, should I share this? I was going to read the first page of the book.
Oh, super. Yeah, why not? Go for it. Yeah.
Okay. It says there are many things that are known and there are many things that are unknown. And in between the known and the unknown are the doors to knowledge.
Mm,
In 2020, for many Americans, the realization that being confined at home under 24-hour surveillance by their phones and home appliances, and the expectation from the state to total obedience to rules, not law, forced people to wear masks for a non lethal, to most, cold virus for the common good of humanity in violation of rights under constitutional guarantee by officials under oath to protect those rights. All the hallmarks of Nazism and communism have now become common features of every country in the world. They normalize this, is what they're saying,
mhm,
including countries and their people that once were willing to lay down their lives to defeat the Nazis and the spread of communism in bloody battles to the deaths, to stop its spread to America and around the globe.
mhm,
A lot of people have died for this, friends. The communist
mm,
goal, now as then, is to eliminate 90% of global population, eliminate our constitution, which there are three, steal our wealth, and enslave the remaining population of the world in the chains of economic slavery under a one world government, one world religion, and one global banking system under communist control.
mm,
This book is dedicated to all those brave souls that fought the righteous fight for good against evil, to free mankind from it. The fight continues.
mm.
Semper Fi.
Oh, he's a Marine
So that is what this book is.
or was a Marine.
I mean, well, yeah, he might be.
Well,
Um, Gray
here
Wolf. Oh, sorry. I was
oh,
going to
Gray
just.
Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah.
He also goes by the professor, apparently. Here's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. What you brought up a really in what he wrote is a really important point because I would assert by observation alone that there has been a push for a communist takeover of this nation.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people younger than you and I, because we've both discovered we're the same age.
Yeah. The same. We're the same age,
We're
you
the
guys.
same age. So now that we know we're the same age, I can say younger than us. Okay.
Yes.
So people younger than us, and I'm talking about, mostly like college age or uh well, I don't
Well, no, I mean, young
because it's
professionals.
not
We're
everybody.
we're
It's not
we're still
everybody.
we're
So it's hard to say.
I don't know. I think that anybody we can I think we can easily say everybody under 47 right now probably has no idea what we're talking about.
Right.
Or they might if they were homeschooled or unschooled, or they have, or maybe they're the sons and daughters of our revolutionary war folks, like, because we have plenty in.
Well, they're, in colleges today, right? They're
Mhm, mhm.
actually promoting communism as though it's a really good thing. And that's been going on for a couple of well, not generations, but a couple decades
Mm.
now.
100 years.
Yeah. I mean, when I was in college, it was starting. It was actually
No, no,
it was
no,
the
Michelle.
beginning.
They started this in college. Let's just start. Okay, look, you know what? I don't know
Mhm,
if you fun fact. The University of North Carolina,
mhm.
UNC Chapel Hill,
Uh-huh.
where a lot of people might know it because Michael Jordan, he played basketball there.
Okay.
Okay. But that was the first university on America, for anybody who doesn't know.
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry. I got distracted by a text that came in that I wasn't expecting. Can you say that again, Niti? I'm sorry.
It's okay. The University of
North
North
Carolina, Chapel
Carolina,
Hill.
not Chapel Hill, UNC Chapel Hill. It's the first university on America.
Really?
It is.
I didn't know that.
It is.
Okay.
So,
Are they part of the agenda? I'm talking about the agenda, you
uh-huh.
know?
I mean,
Mhm,
all of them are, yes, 100%. And how
mhm.
do we know that? Don't believe me, because what do I know? Okay. It's like Michelle saying, where did that come from? Why don't you guys go to, if you go to the United States of America my link tree, if you go to the link tree, which is going to be in the show notes, then that link tree will, you can push a button for the Flexner report.
Oh, right.
And the Flexner report was the report that was filed by Rockefeller and Carnegie, which centralized all the systems on America, all of
Mhm,
them. That includes the government, the schools, including all universities, of course, because, that's how they make money on us.
mhm.
And listen, for those people out there who think you're free and you get to do whatever you want to do you? Do you? And also, if you do, are you those people, the ones that your kids are in preschool and
Mm.
then they're in kindergarten after they're in daycare because you wouldn't even keep them at home after they're born because they should go immediately into daycare as babies? And you should also hurry up and get back to work, mom, because otherwise you're useless.
Right,
What were you worth? I don't know. And
right.
so you immediately have the baby, which you probably get a C-section these days because you
Mm,
needed to control and plan that because you couldn't possibly allow nature to happen on its own without any interference because that's ridiculous. And you got to plan these things, because you got to plan the schedule and it's got to be on your schedule, not nature. So you have to have a C-section, and then you
right.
have to put the baby in daycare so you could get back to work. So then the baby can go to preschool, then and you have to like start working on preschool when you're pregnant
Mhm,
because they might not get into the preschool that you want them to go to. And
mhm,
then they have to compete so they can be number one because you're going to make them now war against everybody immediately from
mhm,
birth so that they won't know how to be friends with anybody because they're constantly competing against somebody, everybody, including
mm.
themselves, to the point of the self demoralization and self diminishment and personal like hate. So they can't love themselves and
Yeah,
honor.
self-loathing.
Correct. Because why should they love themselves and know what they're worth and be comfortable in their own skin? I mean, no, this cannot happen. Okay. And so they must hate themselves 100%. And, to hate yourself is like to hate God. Oh, no, there's no actual God because that's ridiculous. So, and then this continues
Yeah, it's
because,
all that crazy
yeah.
making. It just makes people go insane. It's
So, like,
nothing makes sense, right?
I hear
Yeah.
the young people today, Michelle, they're like, "Oh, you date until this age and then you get married at this age." And like they're literally telling me what the map of the plan is because why would you do that before that? And I'm just like going, "What are y'all talking about?" And because I was listening to
Are
this.
they even promoting marriage, getting married anymore? Is that
I
even a
mean,
thing?
well, I I'm in the South
Oh,
and
okay. So
and
they might
so
still be promoting that there, 'cause, let me tell you in LA, uh-uh, okay.
no, 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 no.
No, it's like, "No, what you're gonna do is you're gonna march your son over to the hospital and get his whopper chopped off
Oh, right.
because we
Because
wanna
he's
turn him into a girl," a quote, "female,"
uh-huh.
which is really a eunuch, right? Let's just get real what they're doing, and so
Mhm.
oh, no, they want people to have no relations whatsoever in that
Um
regard.
Right. No, well, in our area,
Mhm.
which is the Bible Belt, it's still, I mean, in my circle, that's still a thing. Okay. Now,
Cool.
is
Well,
it is it is
alright.
it distorted? Yes. Is
Mm.
it the way that we know it should be? No. It's very you know, um the girls are all like put a ring on it, but also, they're also uh, got to be the boss, and it's that whole thing of, and it's just emasculating.
Yeah.
But okay, I forgot my train of thought about what I was going to say about that. But
Sorry, I might have sidetracked you when we got on the
well, when you try to compare LA or New York or Miami to the rest of the country. Um,
Mhm.
there's vast differences. I guess my bigger point though is the university system is part of the educational prison system,
Mhm.
because if you're not in the education prison system and you're not in the university programming prison system, then
Mhm.
you would have that means you were the blue collar worker, the one that was a little too close to the earth and being grounded in
Mhm.
reality. And so you need to be in the prison system. So they created that system for those people, okay? And they're automatically questionable, to be doubted, to be feared, to be wondered about, to be questioned, and to be threatened constantly and diminished in a different way. They know how to do things, Michelle.
Yeah, work with their hands and
Yeah. They
build
know how to
things and
create and,
mhm.
and we need them because we need them to create and build the things.
Yeah, like the guy next door putting the roof on.
Right. Like, I mean,
You know
you
what I
should,
mean? He's up there,
yeah.
he's peeling off the stuff, and he's, like, shucking the tile things off, and he's about to put on a new roof.
Yeah, whatever he's doing to create
Mhm.
a better world, and to create the security of the shelter of the home, like, no, those people, we got to treat them like dirt and then tell them how hard they got to work. Like, we can't love them. And
Oh.
also we have to remind them of their place, because, they can't get too much power behind them, because then they could really take things over because they know how to do things. They know how to build things and do things. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a marketable skill if the SHTF, you know what I'm saying?
Anybody, like, I'm always saying, you know, look, the prepper world I participate in is like, look, collect skills. But in this world where we're at, let's just come back to what we were saying. We don't want to fall for the deceivers. So,
Mm,
what is happening, what this book is about, and what we're all trying to do with Anna is to, like, as it was bound, we are trying to unbind it. We know that anybody who knows something's going on, something's
mhm.
not right, you know, even if you are the most programmed, college educated, whatever, you hear all of them like, this government sucks, or, there's always this constant conversation about how they want to make it better. Let's always make things better. And they can't get it to be better and they can't know how to make it better. And they're just like, but we just have to keep checking the boxes because we're not doing a good job. We need to do a better job checking them or something. The truth is that you're under Roman civil law.
That's right. Yeah, people think that Rome fell, the Holy Roman Empire fell. No, no, it just changed names. It's called United States now.
The U.S.
Well,
Dot.
that's yeah, that would be we've got the British territorial United States of America, and then we have the Papist municipal United States. And so people often get those two names confused with what we would colloquially refer to as America, right? Which is really
It's not even colloquially. It would
mhm,
also be just lawfully. Lawfully, there's a difference between an American and a US citizen, an American and a United States citizen, an American and a United States of America citizen.
or citizen of the United States. Uh-huh.
Right. Americans, if you notice, are not ever really talked about unless
Well,
they're saying, "We Americans are
right.
mad about
They
whatever."
they talk about Americans all the time
Oh,
in
we hate
you know,
Americans.
bloggers and
Uh-huh.
podcasters and
Well,
people.
the
No, no, no.
foreigners.
It happens all the time. People who think they're American
Oh, no, they're like,
refer
"America, America." Well, they also, interestingly, have promoted the America, which isn't actually American. And we might think that it's like a cute country hillbilly, whatever, kind of a slang kind of a thing.
mhm,
But don't me and you know, Michelle, that that is contractually something, it's a term. They're trying, just like they have been exercising, the airy fairy corporatocracy, how they're constantly practicing linguistics theft in an effort to trick people into contracting. This is what is being normalized in they do it in the form of entertainment in a comedy way, or it's so tragic, it's comedic at this point, where they've just literally destroyed the idea of the American way.
Well, and what is the American way? It is the way
mm.
of letting people live their own lives the way that they wanna be lived, for crying out loud. It's not that you gotta do what the government tells you to do.
Michelle, are you a conspiracy theorist or something?
Let me put on my tinfoil hat, "What? Michelle says, 'Go live your own life.'" Yes. Yes.
I think you're a little bit crazy because are you irresponsible or something? Because you gotta look, you have to follow the law.
Well, I love where you're going with this, right? Here's the law that we need to follow. See this? Watch it. Let me get it something.
Okay.
Here, see this pen?
Yeah.
Watch it.
Okay.
Pay close attention.
Okay.
That's called natural law. Okay, so want to see it again?
Gravity. Are you talking about gravity, girl?
Or whatever, because some people want to argue against gravity.
I know.
And,
It is real. Oh, you know what somebody
okay,
told me?
if you
Somebody
like,
told
oh, it's
me
gonna fall. That's natural law.
somebody told me that wasn't a law. It was so funny. They tried to argue me that gravity isn't a law, that it's a theory, and I go, "No, it's literally a law. It's a natural law." And you know what else is a law?
What?
Some people may not know this because it's not as easy to see as this,
Hmm.
but thermodynamics.
I don't know much about thermodynamics.
It's actually a natural law. What about magnetism?
Hmm. Hmm.
Some people might not believe it, but it's true.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, some people can walk into a room, you know what I
mhm,
mean? And like
mhm.
your house plants start dying because they're like, "Meh," okay.
They're energy suckers.
They suck the energy out of the room, right? So, and
Mm.
I know that the term about energy can sound a little airy fairy, but in a real sense, you can feel it. You can feel when someone's in a really bad mood.
Oh
They
my
might
gosh.
They don't
Michelle,
even need to say anything. They don't need to be throwing a lamp across the room either. You could just feel it. And
listen.
you'll know what I'm talking about. You might come home to your
I
husband or
know.
your wife and you're like, "What's the matter?" And they're like, "Nothing."
Nothing.
And you're like,
Everything's fine.
"Mm,
Yeah.
I can
No.
feel it."
Well, here's something. Did y'all know that during the pandemic, the 6 foot rule thing, did you ever realize that
Mm,
it's also 6 feet under? Did
mhm.
you know that? Why? Why is that? You know why? Because we have we like emanate energy. Our soul is energy. And it extends out for 6 feet from our heart.
I
It
didn't know
start
that part.
it does. From our heart in all directions, we are enclosed in 6 foot, a 6 foot diameter
Whoa.
I- of energy.
That reminds
And
me of the boy from in the plastic bubble from the '70s. Remember that John Travolta movie?
yeah.
I
So
think the thing was 6 feet across, I think.
yeah. So look at, if I
Something
bump
like
into you, I mean, like, figuratively bump into you, like, we're walking down the street. What's up, Michelle?
that. Mhm.
And I see you, and we get within 6 feet of each other, we can feel each other's energy immediately.
Right. Mhm.
That's why. That's why babies, everything can, okay? And
Right.
so they know immediately, and they can feel the comfort or the discomfort in that situation.
Mhm.
And all of us can too. And we can also know if our energy shifts immediately.
Mhm.
And we know when we've said a word and it butt up against your energy somehow,
Right.
And it immediately like was like, whoa, I felt that right here.
Uh-huh.
Or I felt it in my gut. Like that was a gut punch, you
Mhm.
know? We can feel it.
Mhm.
And this is the harm that we don't want to cause each other.
Right.
But the truth is belligerent. And
Yeah.
so, what were you saying to me earlier, Michelle? That you were talking to people and then they just were like, "Rah." They hear you and they're just like,
Right. Well, I think we've all had moments like that where you try to talk, you try to convey a point to somebody
mm-hmm.
and they do that. They emotionally totally shut down. They don't want to hear what you have to say. They're like, no, I'm comfortable right here in my box. And that's the way that it is. And listen, we've all done that. I've done that. I'm
Yeah,
like, ah, la, 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 la. Don't talk to me about that. We've all done
yeah,
that. Right. So I have a lot of grace for people. But
yes,
here's the thing, you brought up a really good point about what it is we're trying to what's the intent, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to help people to find their path to undoing the damage, right? Get their paperwork done, correct the public record, and then decide if they're going to help to assemble or not, because that's a voluntary act. After you're free, again, you have two choices. You can either stay free or you can volunteer, right? But actually, what just came into my mind was the last time we had that conversation, last Monday, there was um, a group that, was also trying to help people get free, right?
right.
And it was brought up on the call, and I know that you reached out. So I was just curious, whatever happened with that? You reached out with that to that group and invited them to
Yeah.
come on with us, right?
Okay, yes. You're talking about when we put up that website
Hmm.
and forgive me because I don't remember exactly the name of it, but I think it was something like The Americans Are Back or something like that. It said on there. Anyway, the the there were people who on social media were like, what are Michelle and Niti talking about? Those are people that we know and blah blah blah. Anyway, the owner of that site emailed me,
Oh, good.
and then of course we invited them to join us on the show because we have no interest in diminishing anybody
Hmm.
who is working to help free Americans
Hmm.
or anyone. But the reason it matters a little bit more to us about the Americans right now is because of the Roman civil law. And why? Because Americans are in a unique position versus everyone else on the planet.
Hmm.
Because on America, we have a provenance if we were born here that that actually is our gives us our inheritance, which allows us to work in the way to untangle the thread.
Hmm.
Only we can do that.
Hmm.
Now, do not misunderstand what I'm saying. All of us are sovereign under God. Me and Michelle 100% agree. We
Hmm.
don't believe that we need sovereignty from anyone else.
Yeah,
That's
not from a man or a woman, that's for sure.
no, because we operate under God's law.
That's right.
However, the world is currently under ancient law, Roman civil law, enslaved by man's law,
Hmm.
as evidenced by the things that you see going on around us. And so, if you remove yourself from that situation on America, you probably could just easily go live off the grid. If you're not on America and you're a living man or woman anywhere else in the world, you probably could also maybe go live in the woods or somewhere and just be off a grid, okay, or on the island somewhere or something.
Hmm.
However, when you want to deal with society, you would be walking up against this man's law again. And the fact that it is allowed and we allow it because we have free will, right? So we are allowing this to
Well,
happen. Well, we are allowing it because we're not allowing it. We're not stopping it. So We
Right.
have
No,
to.
I was gonna go on a tangent about free will because a lot of people confuse free will with free choice. You have a choice,
Mm.
right? You have a choice, but you don't always have free will. That's a totally different paradigm.
I think
But anyway, we
I
won't go
think
in the
that
weeds
might be
about
a
that.
little too deep. I think
Yeah,
that rabbit hole's
we
a little
won't
too
go in
deep.
the weeds on that.
Yeah,
But
I
keep
think
going. I didn't
yeah,
mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
no. I think we need to keep it simple because what the truth of the situation is, if we don't untangle the thread one good time, I mean, and
Mm,
once we do that, then as a people around the globe, then America has the ability, the unique ability under this man's law to
mhm,
also rid the world of the law. We could just decide we don't want to be under this law. We don't want to live under this law. We're all just going to operate under God's law and leave it alone. But unless and until we take back our power, which is what we're trying to do by getting our state seated,
mhm.
then if we don't take our nation back as a union and we don't take our military back, then that is the problem.
Well, let me ask you something because I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. Okay, because
Mhm.
when you were talking about, that we can make this decision to not live under this law, blah, 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 right?
Okay, I didn't say that. Anna
Okay.
did. Anna said that
I
on
think what
the
you're
last
talking
week's
about,
Monday night,
I think what you're talking about is the potential of getting rid of the
Roman civil
our
law.
contracts with our foreign subcontractors. Not that we're under that because we're not. We're above that.
I'm saying we can, as a union of states,
Hmm.
we can help rid the world of it.
We can help rid.
Anybody in the we can help rid the world of it if the people want that.
Right.
Because currently they're using our military.
Well, we were never supposed to have a military. We were never supposed to have a
I'm
standing
just
army.
saying that they're using our military to do mercenary conflicts all around the
Correct.
world in our name,
Right.
and that is not what we would ever do.
That's right.
And
That is exactly right.
they're doing it in the name of Americans, and they're doing it under
Yep.
force, and that's the problem.
And that's deceiving. That's
It is
deceiving.
they are being deceived, and they are being deceived and also operating as the deceivers, and they don't
Yep.
know that. And
Right.
I think if they would know that, they would be like, "Whoa."
Right. They'd go, "What? I don't wanna do that.
Even Anna
I'm not
yeah,
trying
and
to be a mercenary against my own country."
even
Mhm.
Anna is like, if she goes, "If our men and women find out about the deceit that they are involved in, they would
Mhm.
stand down immediately and turn around." And we're kind of trying to get their attention here.
Mhm.
Not kind of trying. I think that is one of the biggest goals is to get their attention and be like, "Hello."
Yeah, we definitely want we first have to just gush some love over the boots on the ground military
Uh-huh.
that are, like, out
Yeah.
there serving all of us and serving with a dedicated heart, like,
Mhm.
they believe in America as much as you and I do. The only problem is they don't know that they're serving a foreign government, and that's the problem.
Mhm. And
So
not under I mean, they've been just lied to.
mhm,
And I was actually speaking to someone who's in the military, and they had no idea that our army generals were bending the knee to the crown.
right. Yeah, they would and you know what? They will some, not all, right,
Mhm,
obviously.
mhm, mhm,
There have been arguments across my own dinner table, okay,
mhm,
of totally like what we're talking about is false and wrong and da 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 da. And it's like, and they're former military.
mhm,
And that what we're talking about is an insurrection and it's perpetuating lies and immorality. And
mhm,
they have no idea that they've been serving foreign interests. And so it's a really, really uh, it's an important job that if anyone that we know that is military, active duty, or former military, the boots on the ground. I'm not talking about the higher ups. The higher ups know what's going on.
They
It's
definitely know, and they're profiteering.
Oh, they are. They actually don't mind sending out our bravest, as gun fodder to foreign nations, to perpetuate all of this profitability, right? The problem is our soldiers don't know. And I just want them to know how much we love and appreciate them so much that they would they'd be willing to lay their lives down for us, but they don't know that it's not for us. That's the problem.
They don't. We're
Yeah.
not blaming them. That's
No,
the
not
other
at
thing
all.
about being a real American and operating as a sovereign is we take full responsibility. We're not seeking blame,
Mm-mm.
and we are not interested in competing or warring.
Mhm.
We're not going to do that. We
Yeah.
are 100% going to take full responsibility, for our thoughts and our actions. And we can see the trick that's being played.
Mhm.
And, hey, we can't hardly judge them
Oh, right.
for believing that maybe we're insurrectionists or whatever, because like they got to literally protect the nation and they can't just fall for whatever. The problem is that we, the people, are literally the
Mm.
everyday people. we're
Right.
not, we're not like, we're not politicians.
Mm-mm.
Our American government doesn't operate with politicians.
Nope.
And that's the reason maybe they could recognize that if we have politicians in office,
Mhm.
maybe that's a signal that, we're under martial law right now, or we're under foreign
Yeah.
control.
Foreign occupation.
Occupation currently, yes,
Uh-huh.
100%. Like maybe that might be a signal. I don't know. How many other ways can we say it? We could look, we're trying to say this all the ways that we can for folks to be able to see. And I'm actually like searching for an image that I want to be able to bring up here. So,
Yeah.
um,
All we can continue to do is encourage people to set the public record straight that you're not owned by your state of fill in the blank. You're not owned by a incorporated entity, and that you are with your eyes wide open choosing that narrow path and choosing to step out on life's skinny branches and say, I am not going to be, I'm not going to be inventory for the Secretary of State anymore. I'm not some nameless, faceless number. I'm not a social security number and a birth date. Okay. And set the record straight. Now, I remember the first couple of times I heard someone talking about this and, this whole topic. And I remember him saying, it's Travis. I don't know if you know Travis Middleton. Travis Middleton, he's just like an awesome martial artist, and he's good friends with Dr. Judy. And I met him, through Dr. Judy. And brilliant, brilliant. Um, he studied under. I believe the guy was a counselor at law, not a bar attorney. But anyway, I might have that part wrong. But he was like studying under this mentor, and he was trying to say, you know, living woman or living man. And I was thinking to myself, well, what other kind of woman or man is there other than, you're either alive or you're dead? And he was trying to explain it to me that on paper, we're all dead entities. And I just couldn't grasp what he was talking about because I said, even if the driver's license says, the all capital letters, like you're talking about, and that's, you know, I'm still me. So if I present my a driver's license as a form of identification, right? I'm still alive, and whoever I'm giving it to knows I'm alive. And he was like, "That's not the point." And I was like so hard-headed, I couldn't get it. I couldn't grasp what he was trying to say. He was like, "That's not the point. The point is nowhere on paper does it exist that you're acknowledged as being alive. You're not alive." I'm like, "But I am," but you're not. That's why this is so important for people to grasp, is that there's no evidence ever since your mom and dad signed off on the paperwork. Literally, the handlers of the world, I'm not talking about the earth, but I am talking about this for profit, top down Babylonian, you know, um, incorporated scheme. Okay. That system acknowledges you as being missing. You were born and then, oh, oh, never to be seen from again. And there's this ward of the state situation going on. And that's why inherently we're taught to be obedient, obedient to Uncle Sam, so to speak, right? Obedient to the corporate policy enforcers.
Okay, I got a couple of things I want to share.
Okay, good.
Okay, so let me start right here. So, can you guys see this? Because I don't know how to make it bigger.
Oh, is that Bill Gates getting some sort of an award from his?
It says in the little print right there, Britain's Queen Elizabeth II presents Microsoft tycoon Bill Gates with his honorary knighthood,
Mm-hmm.
watched by his wife, Melinda Gates, on March 2nd.
Mm.
Isn't that interesting?
Yep. Knighthood.
Mm-hmm.
What year
And
was
then
that?
that was 2005.
Wow. Okay, so 19 years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
he's been operating out in the world,
Mm-hmm.
going, bringing his products to impoverished nations, otherwise known as the quote third world.
Mm-hmm. And watch this
And
one. Watch this one. Get ready to be stunned.
uh-oh. I'm stunned. No, I'm just kidding.
Did you know? This is what it says in the little box there. Did
Yeah,
you
you're
know
gonna
that?
have to read it because I can't read it.
Right. Did you know that General Colin Powell was the first Black American to receive an honorary knighthood from Britain? The
Mm.
general received the honor from Queen Elizabeth II herself in 1993 during a private ceremony held at Buckingham Palace in honor of her passing. We share this picture of the iconic monarch, accompanied by General and Mrs. Powell, taken many years later during an official state visit to the United Kingdom, while General Powell served as Secretary of State.
Mhm.
Can you please explain to me why any of our American generals would be bending the knee to the Queen?
Right.
I mean, I don't know nothing, but maybe you do. I
Yeah.
would.
Yeah, it's just more evidence, right? For
Mhm,
people listening who are
mhm,
like, "What do you mean a foreign subcontractor?"
mhm,
There you go. Okay.
mhm, mhm,
But because the Americans haven't been being accountable to function their own American government, who has been in charge here?
mhm,
The
mhm,
Queen. Okay, the Queen and the Pope, right?
mhm,
So it might sound silly, like, "Oh, that's impossible. We're not a Commonwealth nation, and the Queen doesn't come out. We don't have coins with her picture on it, so can't be true,
mm.
right?"
All
No,
right.
but while you're up there on the internet searching for things, why
Mhm,
don't you go to YouTube and search for the British national anthem and play that song for people.
I will do that because that's a good one. But this one, I can't zoom in on it because they must know we're trying to share it. But let me just share this one because people um, who might be confused. Let me just pull this one up for everybody. If you look in this picture, you see Ronald Reagan there?
Yep.
Americans who are honorary British knights and dames. That's what that says.
Honorary British knights and dames.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And there are several pictures there to the left
Yep.
of George H.W. Bush with the Queen. Let me see if this will open up. Hold on. Well, this is the closest I can get. Hold on. For the folks that think that I don't know
I know
what
that
everybody
they're
thinks.
all wah wah
Wah,
wah.
wah, wah.
Well, but here's the thing. Some people are like, "Oh, who cares? It's
Hmm,
diplomacy, right?" So there
really?
might oh, so yeah.
Ask one of our military guys if it what they think. Because I don't really care what the general population thinks. What I
Mhm.
care about is what for our military men out there, for anyone who's confused.
Mhm.
Because I'm pretty confident that our military guys are not standing for this because they know exactly what that means.
Well, the problem is if you go to well, I know you don't go to the supermarket,
No.
but out at supermarkets and whatever, convenience stores or whatever like this, at gas station stores, they've got magazines,
Mm,
right? And the
mhm,
magazines always promote British things. The royal
mm,
family this, the royal family that, when
mm.
there was
They do?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Huh.
And so
That's
America,
weird.
right? But
Huh.
people are, it's almost like celebrity, right? So it's like false
Uh,
idol worship where
uh-huh.
people love to see what's going on with the royals. Oh,
Okay, and
so and
how
so had a
and
baby and so has cancer now, it's like, oh.
yeah. All I
Mhm.
know okay, so, let me find that YouTube thing while you're doing I'll let you finish talking about
Yeah, it's just that listen, we're not here trying to hate on the royal family or on the monarchy at all. Listen, they were hired help, okay? They were hired to help navigate, navigating, helping us to get across the high seas, going back and forth to, Europe and other nations, and manage navigable inland waterways and ports like airports and seaports and border crossings, right? So that's like their primary function. The problem is when Americans were no longer around to govern their own government because we got lazy, we got confused by this civil war, which was this mercenary conflict between the British territorials and the Papist municipals. Americans were like, so they adjourned their meeting in 1861, I think it was, in a die. So they didn't reconvene. They didn't have a date in the future by which the Continental Congress was going to reconvene. So they adjourned without a future date. And that's what happened. And so the British monarchy and the papacy decided hey, well, the Americans are in interregnum. What does that mean? It means they're not willing, they're not capable of governing their own country, their own nation. So as a result, they will, they stepped up like, hey, if these people aren't willing to do it, we'll do it. And then we get the money for doing it.
mhm.
That's what happened.
You
And it's
ready?
been that way ever since. Oh yeah, everybody listen to this song. Now, if you haven't been to my Thursday class, this is going to be new for you, but have a listen. This is literally the British national anthem and it's called God Save the Queen. Have a listen. Oh, there's no sound.
Oh, no. Wait. Hold on. What is happening here? Well, it says it's
You might need to enable sound on your screen, on your StreamYard thing on the
yeah,
settings.
it's enabled. Weird. Let me try to just load it again. Sorry, friends.
Yeah, one day we're going to be like, oh, we have audio visual support. We have
I know. It's like when I push the button, can it just work? Let's see here.
There it goes.
Good. Okay.
And I hope everyone's hearing the background music. Okay. Right? So now
So,
we were told that that song, you know, was called "Let Freedom Ring," right? Because it's got different words.
right. And it talks about liberty, which is what um, the naval men have when they come
Mhm,
to shore.
mhm,
When they come to shore, they're given liberties.
mhm.
We don't care about liberty.
Right,
We're free.
right,
So like the Statue of Liberty. They could
right.
take it. They could take the Statue of Liberty. Also, we could get into the evil woman that Statue of Liberty actually is. We could talk about that
Oh,
story. We don't
yeah.
have time for
We
that
could
because
we could save that for next week.
yeah, we could talk about that next week. I mean, we're here to crush all your knowledge that you think is the truth. Michelle and I are here to just devour all of the, you think, oh, I have my Statue of Liberty pin. No, we don't want that.
Yeah, that's a
Also,
temporary state, state, liberty.
yes. Also worshiping this evil demon that we don't want to do. So
Mhm.
okay, we'll just break y'all into that easily a little bit more
Slowly.
next slowly because that one's really frightening. I mean, if like it was so crazy. I shared that song with a friend of mine
Mhm,
who didn't believe that we were under British rule.
mhm.
And they were like, no.
Yeah. It's like it creates a type of a cognitive dissonance where people are like,
Mhm.
it's such an affront that if you're not
Mhm.
ready for it,
Mhm.
it's
They
like
were
you're
like, we could have the same music, Niti.
right. Right.
I was like, did you read those words are so offensive to me.
I know, I know. "Let her reign over us," I think was one of them. It's like Weird Al Yankovic. Remember that guy where it was like,
Mhm.
he but that was for comedy, right? It was funny. So
Oh, but comedy, Michelle, is tragedy over time. Tragedy plus time equals comedy, okay, friends? So, look, comedians, you have to be really smart to be a comedian.
that's true. That is very true. Mhm.
I think this is a good note to leave everybody on today. Michelle, what do you think?
I think so too, Niti.
I think we poured a lot on y'all today.
Mhm.
I just really hope you still want to be our friend and we love you so much. And, all Michelle and I are trying to do is present the truth.
Mhm.
And sometimes that truth can kick you in the gut.
Right, sometimes the truth is like, "Ouch.
Ouch. That was not a good one.
Ouch."
Especially when you replay that again. I was going to stop it, but then it continued and you needed to read all those horrible words. So,
And listen, we don't hate the queen.
oh, we
May
don't hate
may
we don't hate anybody.
may she rest in peace, but it's like, "No, that's your country.
Hey,
Okay, let the
here's
Americans run our own country."
girl, I just want to make one other quick point.
Mhm.
Do you remember how for years everybody's like, that woman is still alive? Like, when is she going to die? Like, what is going on? This is how people referred to the queen. For those of you who are not quite aware of the fact that she was like literally living on adrenochrome,
Yeah,
and I think it would be fascinating for you
I
to
didn't know.
know, well, there's a lot of things I don't want to know. Okay. I didn't want to know any of this stuff. Just like I'm sure most people don't wanna
Mhm.
know how they make the adrenochrome or all this
Mm,
other crazy, horrible stuff that's happening.
mm,
But let me just say that for those people who think that anything that we're talking about is not really true, I just wanna point you in a couple of directions because these are things that you can go research and find out things for yourself because you should definitely never believe anything me and Michelle are telling you, okay? Like don't.
that's right. I
Don't
know.
don't believe anything that we're saying. But I think it's fascinating that Anna and 900 people with her, who by the way were all Catholics. They were all Catholics and they were patriots. And they went with Anna. There was 900 of them. They all went to the Vatican, had an audience in front of Pope Benedict, and
Mhm,
they brought all these crimes against humanity to his feet and
mhm,
said, "Hey, like, no, m-
mhm,
like we object." Okay.
mhm,
And this is a much longer story, but the long and the short of that is that the Pope asked for a volunteer to
notice.
be trained
Mm,
on ancient law because as it is bound, it is unbound. And they asked for a volunteer to help work on that. And Anna was the one. So it's not like she's somebody who we all worship or something like that. She's a volunteer who was I mean, they volunteered because it was easier for them to volunteer because they had provenance to do the work and they had
mhm,
hearts big enough to give to the cause. And so they did it with the help of thousands and thousands of volunteers. And also make a note that when she noticed the Vatican and she noticed the crown, then Pope Benedict stepped down
right.
after the training and after the notices and after the time period and blah, blah, blah. So just look it up and just know that because I don't think I've ever known of a pope who ever stepped down. And with that, we love you so much. We'll see you guys next Monday, okay?
Bye, everybody.